receive the gift of righteousness. God has an abundant, constant river of grace flowing, and He loves it.
Guys, we're at such an exciting site in Jerusalem. We're at the city of David. And David is such a remarkable guy. You know, when they say in Acts, the gospel has to go to the Gentiles, should we send the law or not? Actually, they start to quote about the tabernacle of David. So the apostle for the local church at that time, James, he says, no, we shouldn't send the law because God will restore the tabernacle of David. And why? Why the tabernacle of David? While David was living here, he became king over Judah and Israel, and at the moment he was king over the whole country. He started to live in the city of David. And one of the first things he did, he said, let's get the Ark of the Covenant from Kiryat Yearim to Jerusalem. That's a picture of, let's put Jesus back at the center. And the Ark was a picture of the presence of God. And David said, that should be at the center. That should be close. That should be the center of the country. But the interesting thing is, when we see that he put a tent beside his palace, we think it's the tabernacle, but it's not. It's just a tent. For sure a beautiful tent, but not a tent with a whole structure and a Holy of Holies. Because the tabernacle at that time was still at Gibeon. Why? It was for a long period in Shiloh, then it went to the Philistines, then it got stuck in Kiryat Yearim, and David is saying, Saul ignored the Ark of the Covenant. In the time of Saul, we didn't think about the Ark of the Covenant. But Saul was from Benjamin, from the tribe of Benjamin, and in the area of Benjamin was the city Gibeon. And because Saul was king, they had brought the tabernacle to Gibeon. So they had the tabernacle up, the whole structure, the sacrifices, priest, but no ark. And yet David didn't get the tabernacle, he just put the tent of David. And we know there was an incident. Uzzah got killed, and the first time they tried to get the ark to Jerusalem, and then David found out, oh man, it shouldn't be on a cart, shouldn't be on an ox cart, it should be carried by the priest. And then you would think, then he will be more like, oh, we need to put the proper structure. But he knew the Lord so well that he realized that's not important. It hasn't been important for the presence of the Lord in my life till now. And it's more important that we have the ark in the right place. And then he put the offerings in place around his tent, and it's the burnt offerings and it's the peace offerings. And you would wonder, where's the sin and guilt offerings? And then while the tent was there, David just walked into the tent, into the presence. He walked into the presence of the Lord without the proper structure. There you have a beautiful picture of law and grace, because all the religious settings and all the stuff, and only one guy can get in the tabernacle at that time, and it was even at a pagan height. It was part of everything. And David showed, and he knew the Lord so well that he dared to do it like that, and God liked it. He said, David is a man after my heart. And they just had 24 hours praise. And when there was sacrifice, it was burnt offering and peace offering. That's a beautiful picture of the new covenant. And that's exactly why God didn't just love David, He liked David. And that's why it says that tabernacle will be restored. Actually, it's a quote from the prophet Amos, and Amos says the tabernacle of David will be restored exactly as it was. It will be restored as it was. And it's not necessarily in this place, but the spiritual thought behind it is when the gospel goes to the Gentiles, and for sure, of course, it comes also back, but it will be without religion. It will all be about relation. It will all be what God's heart is all the time, that man can live in His presence without a consciousness of sin. Isn't that amazing? What a guy David was. That's also exactly why the Lord Jesus says, I'm the root and the offspring of David. It's just amazing.